So I want to tell you a little story about my little toy here. And the thing about this thing, here, come over here for a minute. So the thing about this thing, it's just an old car, right? I mean, it's a cool old car, but it's just an old car. And frankly, you can buy one of these for probably about 20, 25, 30,000, something like that. So heck, I think a Ford Escort costs like more than what these cost. But this one's very special to me. And let me share you the story. So I was about 19 years old. I was in the Air Force, and I was we call it a grunt, right? I was a private, kind of thing. And so low rank, fresh out of high school. And me and a buddy of mine, we were at Chanute Air Force Base up in Illinois, and we're standing outside waiting. And an officer pulls up into the parking lot in this bright, shiny, brand new candy apple red 1980 T-top Corvette. And I'll never forget how the little tires on his car had the little red pinstripe. And I just thought that was the coolest thing ever. So, and you have to understand, I was making $420 a month, right? That's how I was making. So the idea of having something like this in 1980 was just unfathomable. Well, as we're standing there, the officer gets out, we salute him. He goes inside, and me and my buddy, we're just walking around the car, like, just wow, look at that. It's a beautiful car, right? And my buddy, I'll never forget this. My buddy says, he's looking at it and goes, "I'll never have anything like that." And I didn't say anything to him, right? I didn't want to be a jerk, but I remember thinking at the time, I don't know that I'd be saying that, right? We got a long runway in front of us. We're 19 years old to say, "I'll never have that," like whatever that is. I'll never have that. I thought, man, that's implanting a thought in my head that I don't want to give my brain. And so in that moment, and I don't know where this wisdom came from, I said to myself, and again, I didn't want to be a jerk. I said to myself, I'm gonna have me one of those, right? I just said to myself, I'm gonna make that happen. I thought about it for like the next year or something like that. But over time, remember, this is 1980, right? Long time ago, 45 years. I remember thinking, for about a year or two. And then I hadn't thought of it in literally decades, probably 40 years, like literally. I'm getting ready for a high school reunion, my 45th. Where does the time go? And I met up with a buddy of mine that was my high school chum. And we're at dinner at his house, getting ready for the reunion next day. This is up in Pleasant Garden, North Carolina, just outside of High Point, Greensboro. And I'm at his house. We're having dinner. And he says, "Hey, you want to see something cool?" I said, "Sure." So we go outside, and he opens up the garage, and I see Little Red. That's her name, Little Red. I see Little Red. And all of a sudden, that memory of that day of I'm going to have me one of those, which I hadn't thought of in 40 years, that memory flashed in my head. And I went, oh my gosh. I said, "What year is that?" He says, "in 1980. You've got to be kidding me." And so as I'm telling the story as I remember it, I shared with him the story of promising myself I'm going to have one of those one of these days, and how my buddy said I'll never own one of those, and just the impact of that statement. And I said, "Reggie, I hadn't thought of that in years," right? He said, "Wow." I said, "Hey, buddy, if you ever decide to sell that car, give me a call." Well, Carl, I just had it restored. It's exactly how I want it. It runs just like a brand new car, looks like a brand new car, uh, and it's got the red pinstripe. I couldn't believe it, right? And he said, "Yeah, I'm probably not going to sell it." So the next day, I'm driving up to Asheville, North Carolina, to go to one of our Freedom Club meetings. And me and the lovely Mrs. White were riding up in the hills. My phone rings, and I look down, and it's Reggie. Oh, probably just call and say, "Hey, it was nice having you guys over for dinner," or something like that. And I said, "Hey, buddy, what you doing?" He says, "Carl, I've been thinking about this. I think the reason I restored that car wasn't for me, it was for you." He said, "Were you serious about the car?" And I said, I was dead serious about it." He said, "That needs to be your car. So here's what I got into it. And here's what I need. If you're okay with that, it's yours." Absolutely. I handed the phone over to Maria. she got the bank information. She literally wired in the funds, as I remember it, that very day. And go up to the Freedom Club meeting up in Asheville, North Carolina. 4 days later, I come home. That next afternoon, a truck backs up, opens up the tailgate of the truck, and Little Red was sitting there and pulled in, and I keep it parked here in the garage. Now, I didn't get this car. It's not going to impress anybody, right? I mean, it's a 45-year-old car. No big deal. Almost anybody can buy one. But I bought it for me. I almost never drive it because, again, you can't show off in something like this, right? If you want to show off, you need to go get a Rolls or a Bentley or Ferrari or something like that. It's just not my style, right? But see, I made a promise to myself that day. I made a promise to myself as a wee lad, I'm going to have one of those. And I just want to let you know that if you've made some promises to yourself about where you want your business, maybe just your life in general, I would love to help you with that. Just like people have helped me along the way, I'd like to take that candle that they lit of mine and share it with you. So if you've made some promise to yourself, or if you'd like to make some promise to yourself for your business or for your life in general, reach out to me. So I've got my information somewhere on this page. If there's any way I can help you make promises come true for you, not for anybody else, but just for you, and maybe your loved ones too, perhaps. Any way I can help you do that, I'd be honored to. So my information's on here. Reach out to me. I'd love to help you make your promises come true. Because I can tell you, when you make promises to self and you fulfill those promises, man, it's just a game changer. Like, it's really, really, really cool. So, well, thanks for letting me share my little story about Little Red here. Some of you have heard this before and seen this little thing, but I thought I'd give you the backstory of it. Very, very, very special to me. And it's not just the car, it's the promises kept. And I just want to thank my buddy Reggie for helping me keep my promises. And I'd like you to help you make yours too. So, all right, that's it. Reach out to me. Let's chat.